I thought I will do a little Q&A session because I get a lot of comments. Thank you for your comments. That's really important to me, to get some feedback, how you like the videos, what you experience through the videos, and to ask your questions. And I will answer a couple of questions I've read recently from the top of my head, not necessarily referencing a name or a certain kind of phrasing, but just what I remember. So one question that comes up from time to time is about the type of clothes you should wear in Feldenkrais lessons or going through Feldenkrais lesson sequences, somatic education. And my answer to this is whatever is available to you, as long as it doesn't stop you from practicing. So practicing is so important, and to get on the floor and do a couple of movements. It doesn't have to be long. It can be 5 minutes or 20 minutes. When I do it for myself, I don't listen to anybody else, but I memorized a lot of lessons. I have a lot of ideas inside of myself that I want to try, that I want to explore, that emerge by themselves. So sometimes I just lie on a carpet, or I put on some music and I just take one movement and I'm taking it from there and exploring into different directions and combining it with different kind of sequences. So if you have watched a couple of my videos already, you know what kind of movements there are, and you can start combining them and making up your own sequences, and then coming back to the original teachings and see. Well, always the question is, what I'm doing, is it still Feldenkrais? Is it still somatic education? Or did you regress into some kind of exercise type, which is quite easy to do because most of our lives we're kind of pressed or formed into certain kind of movement exercises. And in Feldenkrais, we try to go in a completely different mindset, different direction, different kind of approach, where we try to have movements emerge from ourselves. It's really not something like dance or contact improvisation, where also people are trying to take something from the inside and make it visible in the outside. We're talking about something completely different, and that's what makes the Feldenkrais method stand out from all the rest. I think it's a category of its own, this kind of movement exploration. In our official lessons, we have a very strict structure. They're well-crafted lessons. There are a lot of knowledge behind it, a lot of planning behind it, a lot of trial and error behind it, and then we end up with these lesson sequences. So they are in a certain kind of feeling, certain kind of mindset. It's kind of scientific, but on the other side, it's not scientific at all. And that's what we find here in Feldenkrais. Can a person in a wheelchair do Feldenkrais? Yes, absolutely. If you're in a wheelchair, you know somebody in a wheelchair, they can do Feldenkrais. A wheelchair is not something that will stop a person from learning. This lesson is about learning, experiencing. Can a person with long hair do Feldenkrais? Yes, absolutely. Even if the hair is sometimes in the way, no problem, you can do Feldenkrais. Can a person wearing jeans do Feldenkrais? Absolutely, you can do Feldenkrais wearing jeans. And just it's the same, you can do it sitting in a chair, you can do it bent over a table. There's all kinds of situations where you can go into Feldenkrais lessons, and they're official lessons for many positions and for many functions of our body and of our functioning of the human body and interaction with the environment and interaction with ourselves. This question of clothes comes up, and I think it's rather a newbie question. If you go to professional Feldenkrais training, there's many. In every major city, in most major cities, there's a Feldenkrais program. Even now in Taiwan, there's a Feldenkrais program. You can go all around the globe. You will find in Japan, you will find Feldenkrais program. In South America, in North America, of course, in Europe, in many places. Africa, I don't know. Never heard of any training program in Africa. And if you go there, you will see people wear all kinds of funny clothes. funny clothes. Some is very stylish, some is very old. You find the whole range of clothes. We are very individual. We celebrate individualism. You can wear whatever you want. If you go into a Feldenkrais professional training, you will find Feldenkrais trainers who were students of Dr. Moshe Feldenkrais. They're wearing jeans and belts. For my belts, I have to say I'm vegan. I live on a plant-based lifestyle. I don't wear leather belts. So not all people are familiar with belts that are not leather. So most of my belts are made out of cotton, and they're not thicker than a towel, and you really don't feel them that much. If a trouser is restricting you, then you will know that the trouser is restricting you. I hope you have the power, the brain processing power to integrate your belt into your movement, to feel what is the belt that is restricting, what is your limited beliefs that is restricting, or what is your tight muscles that is restricting, or some nervous system kind of behavior that is restricting if you're looking at restrictions, but of course we can also look at opportunities. I hope that answers your question. There is also not a specific color type of floor you have to use, or a white blanket or a brown blanket or a blue blanket, just whatever is available to you, right? I hope that answered this question. Next question is about my videos. I already talked about this in another video, because to some people it's surprising that I'm showing the movements. Usually they're not shown when I teach my classes here in my local studio. I never show the movements. I talk people through the movements. I take a lot more time. A movement sequence would usually take like an hour, 50 minutes to an hour. But on YouTube it's a different media. I talk to tens of thousands of people, and they want to have some information in a fast time. They want to see what is it, and I teach in a different way. I crafted my teaching styles to match YouTube, and I started making Feldenkrais videos in 2008, so that's now 8 years that I'm working on this process to improve my videos to match this media and match the requirement and reach as many people as I possibly can, to introduce them into Feldenkrais and make them interested into Feldenkrais and make them interested into taking other classes, and to look around, is there any local Feldenkrais class? People buy my book, this one, you see? Many of you bought my book. And I hope you're satisfied with my book. I love my book. I think it's very well done. Maybe the grammar is lacking at times. English is not my native tongue, not even my second. I used an editor, and the editor did her best job to correct my funny German-style English. And I think she did a great job in correcting it. And still I can express what I want to express in this book. So people buy this book, but they also, when they're on Amazon, they also buy other books. They buy Awareness Through Movement by Dr. Moshe Feldenkrais, or they buy The Busy Person's Guide to Feldenkrais by Frank Wildman, and they start to look around, and maybe they go to Feldenkrais resources and buy books over there. So this is a business generation also, and people can start to explore the Feldenkrais method not only from my videos, but from books and from other courses. So if my videos are too fast for you and you have a difficult time to participate, I can think of two solutions very easily. First of all, you can hit the pause button. If something is too fast, you hit the space bar when you're in full screen mode, and the video just stops. And when you hit the space bar again, it continues. There's also, if you're not in full screen on YouTube, you can use the K button to stop the video, and the K button to pause it and to play. And there's the J button, which goes back 20 seconds, or I think 15 or 20 seconds backwards, and there's the L button, which goes forwards. So you have full control over the video. If you still don't like my videos, you don't have to watch them. There's many other products. You can go buy CDs, professionally produced CDs by Feldenkrais trainers. They're all made in a studio with a professional microphone, and they're all scripted, and they lead you through. It's very nice. There's videos. One of my favorite video series is Pregnant Pauses by Ellen Questel. It's not only for pregnant women, but there's a couple of CDs and they're very well produced, and he guides a group through the ATM, the movement sequences. I recommend, if you want to have a professional produced DVD program, this would be one, or you could go for the Anat Baniel DVDs. Very well produced. A lot of work went into this, obviously, and she does a great does a great job in pacing, and you will just be led through a movement sequence, and it's a lot of movement sequences, actually. That's a whole program, and every lesson is built on top of the other lesson. So if you're looking for professional DVD, professional videos, which are made for DVD format, these are a couple of examples you could go for. Yeah, so far, two professional produced videos. Then the next question. What type of injuries, what type of pains can be addressed with the Feldenkrais method? When I have shoulder pain, if I do have pain in my calves, will the Feldenkrais method be able to help me? So that's a kind of question. I didn't start Feldenkrais because of an injury. I was doing a lot of yoga, meditation. Nowadays it would be called meditation and not yoga, but before it was yoga. Meditation and yoga was essentially the same thing, but nowadays there's a big difference. I did a lot of meditation. I did a lot of sports when I was young, and then for a long time I didn't do any sports. And I was always interested in what's new in the market. So I have a big overview of what exists, what kind of methods exists on the market. So if you go, for example, to a chiropractor, and you say you take Feldenkrais classes, then the chiropractor might not know what Feldenkrais is. But if you go to a Feldenkrais teacher and you said you went to a chiropractor before, a Feldenkrais person will know. Because I think most Feldenkrais people, they know the market. They know what's out there, what kind of methods are out there. And I'm also interested in what kind of methods are available, what was invented by humans, what did humans do. So I stumbled upon Feldenkrais because of Wim Wilm. He's a running teacher, running trainer, who also teaches Feldenkrais, or teaches Feldenkrais through running. Gentle Running is his book. Where is my book, Gentle Running? Somewhere. I saw him on television, made me interested. I went to a workshop, I went to a professional training program right away, because I was that much interested in this method. It struck a chord in me. I saw somebody doing the Feldenkrais method, and I was thinking, this is something I need to know. It's completely different from everything I've seen before. I need to know, what is it? What is this Feldenkrais method? I want to study it. So I went to study with Paul Newton, and there was a whole range of other trainers I really liked, and I learned a lot from them. And I was following them, and I went all over the world to visit Feldenkrais trainers and Feldenkrais practitioners and interview them and talk to them and study with them and take classes and learn from them. That's how I got into Feldenkrais, that's how I approached the method. Only later, when I started to have back pain due to an old injury, due to an old skiing accident, I applied the Feldenkrais principles to my own problems, and it works quite well, I have to say, except that sometimes I do stupid things like going skateboarding, and I'm taken by my passion, and then I re-injure myself. So here we are, injuries. There are a couple of different types of injuries, of course. Household injuries, where something external hits you and it damages you, and then you have to deal with it. That's an injury. And other injuries are internal injuries, chronic things where you build up over time through bad lifestyle habits, bad lifestyle choices, bad movement choices, and you start to have chronic pain and you have no idea why. And these are things we can address with the Feldenkrais method. To go more into the specifics, I would need to have a specific problem. Just to know it is the shoulder blade isn't enough. I need to have the person on the table, or, yeah. If somebody says, I have strong pain somewhere here, and I've tried physiotherapy and osteopathy and gymnastics and yoga and everything, traditional medicine, of course, and medication, of course, and this didn't help. Such a person I need to have on my table. I need to work hands-on so I can feel what's going on. I cannot give a general answer to such a question. Of course, if you go through movement sequences with the Feldenkrais method, you can explore yourself and you will be able to gather knowledge. Gather knowledge about yourself through the sequences. At the same time, you're moving yourself. You're not only resolving things is one thing, gathering knowledge is the other one, combining, changing your movement habits, learning new movement qualities, and this will bring improvement, whether it was rehab issues, injuries that happened to you that didn't stop hurting even though you have been taken care of in a traditional sense by nurses and doctors. And with the Feldenkrais method, of course, usually it's the last resort. We're very far down in the branch. People will try everything, and at some point they will arrive at the Feldenkrais method, and usually they find help there because it's such a different approach, something so different from everything else. And not only is it helping because it's different, because it was the missing piece, the missing puzzle piece. It doesn't replace diet, though. Diet is a topic on its own, and I will not speak much about it in my channel because I know many people do not want to hear about diet, or they think they have the perfect diet, and I don't want to steer into this hornet's nest. I don't want to poke my finger into a hornet's nest. I myself, I live on a starch-based diet, plant-based. The majority of things I eat are starches. That's where my energy comes from. I've been doing this for 3 years. If you want to know more about this, I recommend you listen to a couple of videos from Dr. McDougall. He has great presentations here on YouTube. There's great debates, for example, from Intelligence Squared. I will put a couple of links below if you're interested in what I do for diet. I don't believe Dr. Feldenkrais did anything for diet. He was rather obese when he died. He died of a stroke. I think his genius was in the physical realm, in physics. He was a physician. His realm was physics. And the chemistry, the diet, he just ignored. And I think that's okay because he was a genius and working so hard to develop the Feldenkrais method and put it in the world. And he was very straight about the Feldenkrais method. He didn't look left and right, I think. He gathered everything that is connected to the Feldenkrais method, to movement, to neurology, to psychology, to philosophy, to learning sciences. He combined a lot of fields that fit exactly into this direction. And nutrition was not in this scope of things. And he paid for it. He really paid for it. The last question is about haters. Haters are all over the internet. You won't find many hater comments on my videos. If you look through the comment section, there's not many haters. And the reason is, first, I don't get many hater comments. I try everything not to attract haters and trolls. And the second thing, if there are haters, like people who just write negative comments, they don't ask questions, but they only make accusations, and they write really nasty things, usually I will just block these users, which means all their comments are deleted and they're not able to comment again. So if I have a video with like 50 likes and 1 dislike, and no hater comment, this is because this is the only way the haters can express themselves. They can press the dislike button, but they cannot comment anymore. If you have critics for me, if you don't like something, you can put it in form of a question, in form of a suggestion. But I'm pretty sure about what I'm doing. I have my own studio here. I work with clients. I have groups that I run. I'm a successful Feldenkrais practitioner. I'm a successful businessman. I know what I'm doing. I know a lot of people. I'm in contact with a lot of people. So I'm not insecure about what I do. So if you post a hater comment at me like, everything you do is wrong, this is not Feldenkrais that you're teaching. These people I don't take seriously. I want to have a good community here. A community of spirits, of enlightened spirit, of happy spirits, yes. People who want to learn, to study, to improve, who want to develop and to contribute and to share, and I want to have a safe environment, and there's no place for haters. Sorry, I just block and delete if somebody's putting hater comments. And I want you, the listener, I want you to feel safe on my channel, and I want you to know that on YouTube I'm always developing, I'm always trying new things, I'm always trying to improve. YouTube is very new. We are still exploring how to use it, how to make videos, in what format to make videos, to make the Feldenkrais method as accessible as possible, and to inspire people to use it in their own lives, and also to learn more about the Feldenkrais method from their local practitioners, or from books or CDs or DVDs or whatever, and just start to use this method in their daily lives to improve their lives. It improves my life, and I'm sure if you do Feldenkrais lessons, it will improve your life in many ways. Alright, so this was 4 questions, 22 minutes. I'm not going to cut this video. I think I'm not even going to cut it. I will just put it into iMovie, put a little intro and outro, if at all, then render it and then upload it. And then I have to continue with the German version of my book. Here, the German version of my book, I already translated everything, I had it edited, and now I need to put in the changes into the German version. German version will be slightly different than the English one because German is my mother tongue. I can express myself much more deeply, much more thoroughly. I can say much better what I want, what I feel, what I want to express in German, of course. So I changed a couple of things in the German text. And I hope I will release the book soon. First I had to make a sample print, a proof print. This will take a couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks. And then I'm in Hong Kong for holidays for a month. But that doesn't stop me from publishing with CreateSpace, with Amazon. So maybe the German version of my book will be available in it's August already. So maybe in September or end of August. I can't promise anything. That's another thing. I'm probably the laziest YouTuber in existence since the existence of YouTube. I'm amazed how much effort people put in. Like when I watch John Hill or Casey Neistat, these people put so much effort. Every day they put so much effort. It just goes again. I love taking things slow and develop naturally. For me it's impossible to put 8 hours a day into YouTube and have a normal life. I run a successful practice here, so I have to work. So I have my daytime work, and then I try to produce a couple of ebooks to make the Feldenkrais method more successful and accessible equals accessible or something. And my videos and my audio on my homepage, which is in German. And then And then we finish the question and answer session, I would say. If you have questions or comments, just put the comments and questions below. I think comments will improve the ranking of my videos. So if you like the video and you comment on the video, there's this YouTube machinery, the search algorithm will make my video more popular and more people are going to find the videos. So that's why it's important to comment and like for the YouTube machine. And for me, of course, and for other people. If you have a good question, other people will appreciate it too and think, ah yeah, I had the same question, but I didn't want to ask. What is he answering? Eh? All right, so thank you for watching and practice and I wish you a good time and see you in the next video.